Hello and welcome to the Source Mods Review podcast. This is an independent weekly podcast where I, William Bukunik, your host, review a modification to the Source engine. If you are unfamiliar with what the Source engine is, it's basically the engine that runs Team Fortress 2, Portal, Half-Life 2, Counter-Strike Source, Data Feed Source, and a whole bunch of other Valve-based games. In this week's episode, and first episode ever in this series, I will be reviewing Weekday Warrior. Now, Weekday Warrior is a unique title in that it was developed by students at the Guildhall at SMU. Now, not only that, but it won the Best Mod Award at the 2007 Independent Games Festival. So this is really a title that many people have thought is great in the past. But what do I think about it? Well, in short, I think it's a great game. Albeit a short one that can take you anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes to complete. You play as Doug, who is a huge fan of the Mongoose comic book series. Now, I am quick to point out here that Mongoose looks strikingly familiar to Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Just remember this for later in the review. There are quite a few characters in the game, from Brandy the annoying secretary, to Todd your best friend.
You sleep through your alarm again?
To Dick, the weird guy in your office that has some sort of strange fetish for staplers.
I had them all, but Brandy complained, and then Todd came and he took my stapler. They stole my stapler. I want them back. All three of them.
And of course, you have your minor characters that you will meet in your journey to complete the game.
My tea time is in less than 2 hours, and I don't want to play in my work clothes.
Weekday Warrior is particularly unique in that it's a source mod, and yet it's not a first-person shooter. It's more of a Metal Gear Solid-like game mechanic in that your character moves around and your camera is stable, and yet you still move around with the WASD keys versus your mouse. Your mouse is instead used to pick up items you find along your way, such as staplers, a screwdriver at one point, some clothes, etc. But it's never your primary movement tool. Now, if you haven't already figured this out, Weekday Warrior is not a typical source modification. There's no fighting in it. And your goal isn't really to destroy anything. It's to go and find other objects to complete a goal and advance the storyline. It's more of a point-and-click adventure than anything else, and that alone makes it a unique source modification. So the story basically starts out when you get an encrypted email from the people upstairs, and it begins to worry you and Todd. So therefore, the story is to go about finding a way to decode it and figure out what it means so you can see if it's an actual problem or not. Of course it is, so Todd recommends that you go talk to your boss, Mr. Joshi, who then recommends that you stealthily invade the upstairs room and figure out what they have planning against your floor. Your goal is to implant a virus on this machine with the intent of erasing everything on it. So you put on your disguise and infiltrate the floor above you.
I'll be as invisible to the office workers as the mongoose was to the Baron's guards. This is my floor. Time to get stealthy.
Remember how I told you to keep Metal Gear Solid in mind? Well, this is why. You meet a hobo up on the floor above you who warns you about guards who will be patrolling the area. Your mission here is to avoid them at all costs. Sound familiar?
Best bet is to just avoid them altogether. Those guys don't mess around. You do know how to avoid people, right?
The easiest way to avoid guards is to look at your radar. It tells you the directions that the guards are facing. Again, sound familiar? If you go into the side of a guard, you will be asked a series of questions. Happen you answer any of the questions incorrectly, you will be sent back to the beginning of this mission. However, answering correctly will let you continue on with the mission. Jokingly, the first time you fail, you will be presented with a very familiar sound clip.
Doug? Doug? Doug!
This door is locked. Looks like I'll need a bust of Michael Bolton to open it. It's strange.
You'll have to come with me. What? On whose authority? I'm so sorry, sir. I knew we were getting a new chief security officer, but since we hadn't met yet, I didn't know it was you. Please, don't fire me, sir. Please. Thank you, sir.
I'll need something to place over this hole. A wood plank, maybe? It looks like I'll need a remote control for this C4. I'm getting close. Now I need to find that computer.
Upon finding the computer, you need only upload the virus to it, and you're safe and sound, you've completed the game. Overall, I find this game incredibly entertaining, and it only takes 30 minutes to complete, so it's not like it's a huge time waster. So, I give it 5 stars. I definitely recommend it if you own a source-based game and are just looking for something to kill time with. So, that ends the first episode of the Source Mod Reviews. I hope I will be able to do more of these in due course. I will attempt to do one of these every week, or at the very least every other week. So, until next time, catch y'all later.
You want my sneakers, huh? I'd be lying if I said a part of me doesn't want to see you get caught, so I can't just let you have my sneakers. But maybe there's a way you could earn them. If you can beat me in trash ball, I'll give you my sneakers. Sound fair?